this exhaust sounds 10 times better than stock. The stock exhaust on a 110 is nothing flashy, but it gets the job done. With that said, I want something with a little bit of grunt. And there's just no way in this economy that I'm spending $500 on an exhaust for my 110. That's where this FMF Power Core 2 comes in. And not only that, we're going to build a stainless steel header at the same time. So let's get the stock pipe out of here, and let's get busy with this exhaust build. When they're side by side, you can see the FMF Power Core 2 is much longer than the stock one. But that's nothing a quick trim can't sort out. Bada bing, bada boom, you got a new exhaust. We're done. Just kidding. Let's get into it. I managed to pick up the silencer for about $20. It needs a little bit of love, but that's what I can give it. The bolts and the rivets are a bit old. The one tag here is cracked, but it's not an issue. We're going to be replacing all of that. Here in the rear, drilling out the rivets. And in the back, these bolts have probably been there 10, maybe 15 years. If I ever have bolts like this where they're filled up with sand and muck, I just take a smaller bit, spin it around, clear it out, and then the Allen key fits in real nice. But I do give it a couple of taps just to make sure it's absolutely seated. You don't want that stripping out, it's going to ruin your day. A little bit of motivation with the mallet. There it is. There it is. This packing's definitely seen a good bit of two-stroke oil. This was off a two-stroke, but the size is just right for a 110, and when I repack it, I'm putting four-stroke packing. And whenever I'm dealing with packing, I just make sure I'm wearing a set of gloves. This stuff will make you itch real bad. My game plan with the silencer is just to reduce the outer tube length by about 110, as well as the inner one. This way, we know that everything will fit back together because we've taken the same amount off on both sides. This tip has definitely seen better days. Let's give it a run on the steel wire brush and give it a lick with high heat black paint. That's not a good start to the painting day. Touching here. Hey, there it is. Get a little test fit going here, make sure everything's going to be in the right spot. That'll fit in. And I mean, why would I want to show you cutting off the tag? Look at my drill, guys. Now with that tag off, I've welded up a new one, tacked it on just so we can get a test fit. Here you can see how weird the angle is of the stock header. And I'm happy with that position, so let's weld it on. You'll hear throughout the video, aluminium welding, super noisy, steel or stainless steel welding, nice and quiet. All you hear is the gas. Not my cleanest weld, but not bad, not bad. Yeah, this is gonna smoke. Things are once again looking nice and fresh. I polished up the tip, just prepped the can a little bit. It's ready for assembly. I always cut my packing a little bit bigger than it needs to be and then cut it down to size. You pretty much want that can to be as full as possible. When you've got the mount right, it will just fit right together. We were racing an event this weekend, Stoffskop, some oval track racing, so I needed to leave the stock header in place. My quick solution was to use the rubber that they would use on a normal two-stroke, but it was definitely the wrong size and it tore that weekend. Not a problem though, let's continue and make up the stainless steel header. For the stainless steel pipe, I called around everywhere, I actually just couldn't find any. But luckily in my shed, I had a BMW K1100 full exhaust and I knew that I could harvest the stainless steel from this bad boy. This stainless over here is probably 25 to 30 years old and they don't make them like they used to. Removing the old pipe is super easy, it's just 2 bolts, there's nothing that holds on the frame or anything else. And from underneath you can see the shape of the bracket we're going to need. With a little bit of sandpaper and a little bit of time, the pipe's cleaned up real nice. And I luckily had this old pipe lying around that's got the perfect size bracket, as well as having the perfect size tube for the exhaust port. It just needs a little machining. Needs a little sand and we need to drill the holes a bit bigger. Now quite luckily, the 4-to-1 system that they had on the BMW has ended up with a whole bunch of different bends, giving me the ability to put together a pretty mean pipe. It's going to take a little bit of thought. Here's that larger exhaust port pipe on my stainless steel tubing. And just like factory, it needs a weld on the inside the whole way around. Now I had to have that bracket all ready for right now, because if I didn't put it on the pipe now, there's no way I'm getting it on. And then I thought I'd try something new. So my initial plan was to stretch the tubing over one another so that when I weld, it's nice and easy instead of doing a butt joint. So here, I'm making up the mandrel on the lathe. I think the end result's pretty decent. I found a nice little bracket that I could hold the pipe with. Didn't work on curved pipe, by the way. Maybe you guys could share your tips and tricks in the comments, and I can get this right next time. So for now, we're just going to have to stick to butt joints and carry on. I wanted to take my time with this next bit of the process to make sure I get the pipe as factory looking as possible. With the pipe being so short on the 110, I've decided just to make it in one piece, straight. If I want to pull it off, it's nice and easy to remove, and if I want to swap back to the old pipe for any reason, I can. The piece of the pipe that goes next to the subframe and under the plastics needs to have a bit of a bend in it, otherwise it's going to melt it. The top tip if you're using a hacksaw, a little bit of soap water is a really good cutting fluid. Here, to miss the subframe, you can see I've cut a small slot out, just bent the pipe slightly, and welding it back up. And this right here was one of the most challenging parts. Even though I drew that line perfectly, once I cut it, I knew there was going to be a gap. Luckily, I had a little spacer that I could put in between. I really didn't want to weld on the bike, but to get the perfect fitment, I had to. I just made sure to disconnect the battery first. stainless pipe is obviously bigger than the stock pipe, so we just got to do a little bit of trimming on the plastics just to make it look factory. Ah, much better. We're just about there with this build. I know you guys want to hear it, but give it a polish up, make it look fresh, put it to the bike. Being a 110 takes literally 2 seconds to get the plastics back on the bike. The tone is a lot deeper and richer, it sounds much better. But let's go hammer it on the track. I wonder if I should do another top speed with the new exhaust on. Let me know in the comments below. If you've stayed till then, thank you, you're a legend, and I'll catch you in the next video.